11 separate times. I cried just as much at the end of this book as I did at the end of Banana Fish. Yeah, when I say I wish you all the best, it makes me cry. Hello friends, and welcome to my vlog for the Studio Ghibli Readathon. I heard about this Readathon the other day. I knew I needed to take part. It's taking place from the 1st to the 30th of June, and there are prompts to do with a number of Ghibli films, and I'm really excited about it. I've also decided that because there are 3 prompts for each film, I've decided that once I've completed those 3 prompts, I'm going to rewatch the film, and I'm so excited about it. But I thought I'd take you through the first book I'm reading, as well as some books I bought today in town, and yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to do like a big vlog in weeks, I don't know yet, but here we are, I'm excited. And yeah, so the book I am starting the readathon with is for the prompt binge read, which is a prompt for the film Spirited Away, one of my faves, and that is the Foxhole Court by Nora Sakovic. I chose this for this prompt because I always binge read this book when I reread it and read it in one sitting, so I knew it would be perfect. If you didn't know, the Foxhole Court follows a 18-year-old named Neil Justin who gets recruited for a college team for this made-up sport called Exy. The issue is the coach of the team only recruits athletes from broken homes, and on the team is a man Neil never wanted to see again, called Kevin Day. I love this series so much. I know it's a mess and it's definitely flawed, but it's like home to me. I have a tattoo dedicated to it here, and yeah, this is home. This is getting me out of my reading slump that I've been in since September. If you haven't never read All for the Game before and want to, just make sure you look up trigger warnings because there are quite a few on each book and you should always be safe. So yeah, the Foxhole Court, I will definitely finish this tonight. I'm on page 103 at the moment, which is chapter 6, and this book is 251 pages, so yeah, I have like another hour and a half and I'll finish it, and I'm really happy about it. But yes, I haven't started the vlog till now because I've only just started reading like an hour ago, but I did go out today. I went to a bookshop, so I thought I would tell you the books I bought. I bought 3 books in town. The first book was Dune by Frank Herbert. I've wanted to read this book for a while, especially with the film coming out, so I thought I'd finally pick it up. It is a big boy, but I'm really excited to read this. Then the next book I picked up was Vampires Never Get Old, which is an anthology from many authors, and they're short stories about vampires, and I've wanted this book for such a long time, and it finally came out here in the UK. I'm especially excited for V.E. Schwab's story because she's one of my favourite authors, and there is a Netflix series being made from it, so I'm really excited to dive into this, hopefully at some point soon. And then the last book I bought was the first volume of the Haiku Manga. Haiku is my favourite thing ever. Basically, Haiku, Attack on Titan, and All for the Game are my 3 favourite things in the entire world, and every time my Waterstones has a physical Haiku volume, I buy it. So I have volume 1, 2 and 8. Volume 2 is actually my favourite because it has the practice match between Karasuno and Aboy Josai, and they're like my comfort chapters and my comfort episodes in the anime, so yeah. I love Haiku a hell of a lot, and I'm really happy that I can add volume 1 to my collection. Hello friends, it's probably like 20 minutes later since I updated you last, but I am still making my way through this. I'm on page 122, so I've read 1 chapter because this is chapter 7 and I've stopped for some strawberries with a little bit of sugar and a white chocolate milk shake because treat yourself. Hi friends, it's now Wednesday, the 2nd of June, and I realised I didn't update you last night. I did finish The Foxhole Court. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, my favourite series of all time. And now I'm currently reading The Raven King, which is for the prompt Read a Book with Competition, which is from Up on Poppy Hill. I'm not that far into this, honestly. I'm about 30 pages in, and it's like 330. I will finish it before I go to bed tonight. Hey friends, and happy day 3 of the Readathon, day 3 of Pride Month. The book I'm reading today is The Kingsman by Nora Sakovic. I am currently on page 103. This is for the prompt from My Neighbour Totoro to read a book with the hurt comfort trope in, and that basically describes all for the game at this point. So yeah, I'm 100 pages into this. It is 400 pages, so I should definitely be able to finish it tonight. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about it. So if you have not read The Kingsman, mute this until I put this book down. But I really love Renee and John's relationship in this. Like, it doesn't get explored often until a bit later on, but I think their friendship is really sweet, and I'd like to think that after the books are over, then they stay in touch. And I do ship Jeremy and John, obviously, and I'd like to think that John gets a lot of a happier life when he joins the Trojans, and that Renee kind of keeps in touch with him and helps him settle in, along with Kevin. I think Kevin and John's friendship is still a really important thing. But yeah, I love The Kingsman. This is like one of my comfort books, which is ridiculous considering how stressful it is. I just love it so much. I love the Fox's relationships in it, and I love the funny moments and the heartwarming moments amid all the stressful moments. But one thing I like to think about is the fact that we know from Nora's extra content, which I do choose to ignore most of, but that we know that Kevin, Andrew and Neil all make US court, so they're in the US national team. No, yeah, that's right, yeah. But I think it'd be interesting to think about the fact that if Rico didn't die at the end of The Kingsman, then he'd be on the same team as them, and I'd like to think they just fuck him up. But yeah, I love this book so much, and I'm really excited to read some more of it. But I just also wanted to talk to you about 2 books that came today. 2 books that came today. I have She Drives Me Crazy by Kelly Quindlen. I've heard nothing but good things about this book. It's been one of my most anticipated releases since I heard what it was about. And this is going to fit for the prompt, a good parental relationship. I believe that's a Ponyo prompt, but I'm not entirely sure. And then I also have a physical copy of The Ghost We Keep by Mason Diva, which is going to fit for the prompt from Up on Poppy Hill, a book about loss, as this deals with the main character losing their brother, and I'm really excited, but I know it's going to make me cry. So yeah, I'm really excited to get to both of these. So I'm still reading this. I'm on page 168, and just a word of advice for anyone who loves All for the Game and is emotional and attached to the characters: don't listen to sad songs while you read this book. Hello friends, I am currently on page 220 of this. It's like 10 o'clock, so I'm never going to finish it before midnight, but I'm still finishing it before I go to sleep. Anyway, I just want to talk about Kevin for a minute. If you know me, you know that I'm obsessed with Kevin Day. He is my favourite character in any book ever, so I talk about him a lot. But anyway, I want to talk about Kevin for a minute. I'm at the scene where they're watching the Ravens and USC play the separate games, not when they're playing each other, and it talks about how Kevin has always been a USC fan even when he was a Raven, which means that and the whole point is that the Ravens and USC, they're the two best teams in the league, and they're completely different. So the Ravens are horrific. People and their tactics are dirty, and the way they play is just a bit grim. And then USC have won the Kaylee Day Award a number of years in a row, which is like, because they're good sports and, you know, they're so lovely and nice, and it really showcases the fact that even though Kevin has been a Raven since he, you know, basically since he was a child, since his mother died, he's always been a USC fan, and it really showcases that Kevin has always known how horrific the Ravens are, and it shows how badly that Kevin has always been treated by those people, even though he wasn't really adopted into the family after his mother died. He was, you know, taken to the Ravens because he became a pet for Rico, and that was his entire purpose, was for him to be the second best player and for him to be a pet. And it just really showcases that ever since he was a child, Kevin has realised that these behaviours are so wrong, and that's why he's a USC fan, is because the two of them are so different. And I just really think it showcases the horrific things that Kevin has been through in his life, and I don't think people talk about Kevin's kind of trauma enough. Obviously, people mention Kevin and how he can't stick up to Rico and stuff like that until the end, but it's like this man has been through so much in his life. He has been abused and, you know, taken down constantly by the Ravens, and the only reason that Rico hasn't done more to him was because he was meant to be second best. You know, Kevin was meant to be second best, he was meant to be a champion, and which is why it's so shocking in the book when Neil finds out that Rico broke Kevin's hand, which you find out in the Foxhole Court near the start, is because, you know, they were meant to be raised together, and it just shows that even though Rico and Kevin are meant to be best friends, it just showcases what a horrific person Rico is. Okay, so it's currently 20:01 in the morning on Friday, and I've just finished The King's Men, which was for the prompt Hurt Comfort, read a book with the Hurt Comfort trope from My Neighbour Totoro. And I'm so happy. I'm in my happy over the game bubble. I love this book so much. Small spoiler though, so you can mute when I put the book down. But the fact that Kevin is the last person to score in the final against the Ravens, which results in the Foxes' win, is so important. And it couldn't have been Neil, it had to have been Kevin, and it's so important that it was Kevin that did it. And I'm happy. I love this book so much. And I'm in my happy place, and yeah. Thank you, Nora, for writing all for the game, because it's truly saved my life and changed me as a person, and I'm so happy that it's in my life now. Hello friends, happy Friday. I haven't updated you at all today, but I have read an entire book. I read The Ghost We Keep by Mason Diva. This was for the prompt to read a book about loss from Up on Poppy Hill. This book was heavy. I cried 11 separate times in this book, and it is like 317 pages. It's not a very long book. It's about the same length as I Wish You All the Best. And I cried 11 separate times. I cried just as much at the end of this book as I did at the end of Banana Fish. And that is saying a lot. I cried a lot Banana Fish. So yeah, this book was fantastic. I think I'm giving it 4 out of 5 stars. I know it's so stupid that I'm not giving it 5 stars, but it just wasn't quite a 5-star for me. But it was still really, really good. And when you read the author's note and the acknowledgements and stuff, you can tell how personal this book really is to Mason. And it really comes through in the writing as well, how personal this book is, and oh my god, it hurt me so much. But when you do read this book, just know that there are trigger warnings for self-harm, death of a sibling, death in general, panic attacks, and mental health. But yeah, this book, it was really good, and it's just another book that Mason has written that will stay with me forever. They are very good at doing that. But yeah, I'm really happy that I read this, and it was the first book, the first June release that I've read. I have so many June releases, and I'm so glad that I finally read one. So yeah, I'm happy that I've read it, and it's been a successful day for the Readathon. No idea what I'm reading next, but we shall see. Hey friends, happy Saturday. It's currently like 4 o'clock, so I haven't updated you yet today, but I haven't done any reading until now, so I have just started She Drives Me Crazy by Kelly Quindlen, and I am loving it so much. It's about this girl called, I can't remember her name already, called Scotty, who is the captain of the basketball team, and she ends up having to carpool with her nemesis, which is the captain of the cheerleading, and it's enemies to lovers, and it's going to be fake dating, and I'm so excited for it. I'm currently 35 pages into it. I'm really enjoying it so far. This is filling the prompt for Ponyo, which is read a book with a happy parental relationship. I believe it's Ponyo, but if it isn't, I will correct that. And then yeah, so I was gonna read, I had like 4 choices for today, so I could read this, Not My Problem by Kara Smith, Jay's Gay Agenda by Jason June, or The Other Side of the Sky by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner, which I think I'm going to read next because I have 2 like large fantasy books on my TBR for this month, so I would quite like to get one of them read soon. So I'll probably start this tomorrow, but for now I'm reading this and I'm so excited to read more. Hey friend, okay, we're filming this clip in front of my wardrobe because I just love how this dress looks and I wanted to show it off, and hello to my book and hero time. But I just finished this, She Drives Me Crazy by Kelly Quindlen, and it was so good. I'm giving it 4.25 stars. This was just, it was joyful. Everything about this was joyful. I finished it and I was just grinning and I cried a little bit, and it was just so wonderful. Like, yes, it's about the sports gaze, which we love, but also it has some really important messages about accepting yourself and loving yourself and how to do those things, and it just pulled on my heartstrings a lot, and I just loved it so much, and I'm so happy that I've read it. This was for Ponyo and to read a book with a healthy parental relationship. Aston! She's ignoring me, but enjoy my cat for a second. But yeah, I haven't read anything today. I'm going to be starting this soon, which is The Other Side of the Sky by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. This is for the prompt to read a book in a mythical world, which is for Castle in the Sky. And this book has very Castle in the Sky vibes, so I'm here for it. I did go out today and I have 4 books. I have You're the One That I Want by Simon James Green. This book follows a character named Freddie who is apparently too unremarkable, and then he tries out for his school play, which is Grease, and he meets Zach, and I'm guessing there's a romance. I did not like No I Can't Even by Simon James Green, but I loved Heartbreak Boys, which was his last novel. So I have high hopes for this. The next one I brought, which was a very out of character for me, and it was Beach Read by Emily Henry. I forgot her name then. And this is an adult romance following 2 characters named January and Gus, who both have crippling writer's block, and then I believe they write each other's novels. Yeah, this is an adult romance. I don't read adult romances, so I'm interested to this one. I've just heard so many good things about it, and so many good things about Emily Henry's writing, so I'm kind of excited to read this. And then the last book I have is An Emotion of Great Delight by Tahara Mavi. This book follows Shady, and the tensions are high and hate crimes are on the rise for the Muslim community. I'm guessing this is going to be similar to A Very Large Expansive Sea, which I enjoyed last year or the year before. It's going to be a hard-hitting contemporary, and I'm here for it. I love the Tahara Mavi's writing, and yeah. Sorry, my brain's just not with it today. And then I have Common Bonds, which is by a bunch of different authors, and it is a speculative aromantic anthology, and as someone who is aromantic and asexual, I'm really excited for this. Really excited for this. So I'm probably going to read this for the readathon. It is on my TBR list for the readathon, so we'll see. I'm excited, but for now, I'll watch some more booktube, and then start this. I'll keep you updated. Hey friends, it's Monday. Still, I think it's about to be Tuesday. But I realised I haven't updated you today, and I didn't update you after yesterday. So I thought I would tell you what I'm reading. I did not start Other Side of the Sky, and I think I'm taking it off my TBR. I'm just not in the mood for it. But I'm currently rereading I Wish You All the Best by Mason Diva. This is my 6th time reading through, and this is going to be for the prompt to read a book with a colourful cover and to read a book with romance in, and to read a book with a sibling relationship. So yeah, but the difference this time is that I am tabbing it. I love tabbing my books and annotating them. This is probably the most I've ever put in one book before. But yeah, I really enjoy tabbing my books, and yeah, after I've done, I will show you what it looks like, and then I'll talk you through my tabbing system. Yeah, when I say I wish you all the best, it makes me cry. For those who've read it, the scene that always makes me cry the most is after the art show, when Hannah and Ben are in the therapy room together. This whole conversation just makes me sob, and then afterwards, where they're at home and Hannah talks to Ben about the thing that their dad did, it just makes me sob so much, because Hannah deserved so much better, and so did Ben, and it just makes me so sad. So yeah, this is the current situation. I am crying my eyes out over I Wish You All the Best. And also, don't listen to sad music when you're when you're reading a sad book, because it makes it worse. Hello, happy Tuesday. I look and feel like a complete mess, but I thought I'd wrap up this first week of the vlog. So this has been the first week of the Studio Ghibli Readathon. I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books, and I thought I'd wrap up the books that I read this week. So the first one I read was The Foxhole Court by Nora Sakovic. This was to complete the prompt to binge read, because I read this all in one night. Then I read The Raven King by Nora Sakovic. This was to complete the prompt read a book with competition. Then I read The King's Men by Nora Sakovic, and this completed the prompt to read a book with the Hurt Comfort trope. Next I read The Ghosts We Keep by Mason Diva. This book was for the prompt read a book about loss. Then I read She Drives Me Crazy by Kelly Quindlen. This book was for the prompt read a book with a healthy parental relationship. And then finally I read I Wish You All the Best by Mason Diva. This book covered the prompts read a book with a sibling relationship, read a book with romance, and read a book with a colourful cover. So yeah, that was, look at all those tabs. The book doesn't even really close at this point. But yeah, that was my first week of the Ghibli Readathon. I don't know what I'm starting today, but I will see you soon for a new vlog. Goodbye.